So welcome everybody to my intro to touch and tie class. We're just gonna start with just saying how we're feeling, and go from there. Yeah, how we're feeling, why we're here, and what we think is gonna transpire in this class. So who wants to start? Josh.
Embracing my role as an Aries, going first. Let's see. Yeah, doing well. Okay. Major stressors today, at least. Appreciating having days where I intentionally take the day off. Okay. No work today. Yeah, physically feeling pretty good. Do have a little bit of knee issue, which maybe I'll talk about a little more when we get into the summer. So.
There will be a component for that.
Great. Yeah, so I guess I'm happy to be relaxed in the presence of others. So thanks for helping me do that.
What do you think is going to happen?
Well, yeah, what do I think is going to happen? I think sooner or later I'm probably going to be laying on one of these mats and hopefully receiving some massage. I hope to also be getting some massage and hopefully at some point watching and observing and learning from massage and holding space for it. Looking forward to all three of those things. And yeah, so that's what I think is going to happen, but I don't know.
Yeah, solid. That's why we're starting with
it. And then I think the other one was what I'm hoping for or something like that.
Why you chose to come.
Yeah. I love my body. I love other people's bodies. I love trying to learn how to be a healer. I'm not a professional massage therapist or anything, but I think doing touch and healing stuff with other humans, I seem to really enjoy it, and I hope it's good for the other person. And it's sort of the more of that that's in the culture that I belong to, the better. So I want to be part of that.
Beautiful.
Also an Aries with knee problems. We've got a pair of us. How am I feeling, I think was the first question.
Yep.
Pretty chill emotionally and mentally. My body's a little hairy just because of where I'm at in my cycle, but otherwise grand. There's some tense spots, but generally pretty chill. I've been getting lots of naps in, which is lovely, and made music last night, which brings me joy. So, I expect somebody's foot to be in my armpit at some point because I've done Thai massage before, and that sort of thing seems to happen. I like it.
You can go there, yeah. As long as your shoulder does okay.
Yeah, there's definitely some spots that you can really release with. Yeah, knees on the back of my hammies. Oh, best. And why am I here? I mean, I love massage and community, and I have the time for once, so. And your message, so.
Yeah, thanks for heeding.
Cool. I'm thinking that most folks. I'm still Steve. How am I feeling today? I'm feeling all right. I've been kind of, it's not odd for me to kind of go through huge bouts of new work or new efforts and tune out my body until it comes to a really pressed and stressed point. So I want to be getting back in touch with staying on top of that and making sure I address it before it gets to a stressful point. I'm very interested in maybe being able to add to my repertoire, because I think that massage has been something that is just a really worthwhile skill to have from the first time you ever enjoy it. I remember even in school choir, just the moment to help the person on your right real quick and help the person on your left, did a lot for me. just as an individual trying to like recenter myself through like grueling days or weeks. And I have never had any like education in timeless shots. So that's why I was like super interested in being able to check this out. So thank you for reaching out and starting this up again.
You're welcome. I do that.
What do I expect to happen? Definitely to be able to maybe better communicate where I'm finding these like stress points and what they feel like. It normally is stuff that I've over-explained in my like neck and shoulders for a long time, but I'm noticing some like pressure built up in extremities that I don't even really know how to articulate super well. Maybe be able to get some tools to better navigate that.
Awesome.
Thanks.
All right, so how we're feeling, why we're here, right?
And what do you think the class is going to, like, what do you expect is going to happen?
Okay, well, today, well, right now, today's a long day, so I can feel all sorts of feelings throughout the day. Right now, I'm feeling a little tired and impatient. Yeah, but generally okay. I'm gonna just lean into whatever discomfort I have right now. I guess physically feeling some tension in my lower back and, you know, occasionally the shoulders, like mid to lower back. I think it's a postural thing. I am here today to support you and to see how the evolution of this takes form. I expect to see some shifts.
Cool. Cool. Awesome. Thank you all for sharing. Let's stand up. Let's have you two go to that side, you two go to that side. We're going to form two lines. It's meant to be generally for larger amounts of people, but let's go to both ends of the room.
Facing each other.
Yeah, generally, but like far apart, because that's part of the exercise. Yeah, so go to both ends of the room if you don't mind.
Okay.
And we're going to start with y'all being the stoppers. So y'all are going to slowly walk towards both of these folks on this side of the room, and when they say stop, you're going to do that. Just breaking the ice. Go for it.
Stop.
Stop. And reset. And then we're going to repeat the same thing, but y'all are going to be the stoppers. And maybe this time, maybe just notice like where in your body like tells you you want the person approaching to stop. All right. Stop. Stop. Cool. And reset. Cool. Now let both of you, with your partner, decide where you want to be for the next exercise. So we're going to do a somatic experiencing exercise. Basically, you're going to lay hands on yourself wherever you want to put some healing energy into yourself. So like you mentioned your mid-thoracic, you mentioned your tummy. So wherever like you want healing energy to go, let's do that. But just coming closer to where y'all want to be, and then we'll proceed. Yeah, so you can like have your eyes be closed, have them be open, whatever your preference is, and then just physically lay hands on where you want to put some healing energy into your body. Maybe checking in with your feet. Notice that your weight is mostly on the heels of your feet, more the toes, the inside, the outside. Maybe identifying your knees, seeing if they're locked. Maybe if one side is internally or externally rotated. Checking in with your hips, identifying if there's pelvic out. It's all feeling solid. Going up to your shoulders, noticing if they're forward or back. Checking with your jaw. And I'll let you all marinate for a little bit. Just focus on putting some healing energy into the spots that you want to. You'll collectively let me know when you're ready to press. So the next progression will be sending that same healing energy you gave to yourself to the other person. As you're holding whatever spot you still want to have be given attention to, knowing that we'll be massaging each other in a little bit.
So do we touch each other or more just
Touching just yourself. Yeah, so put your hands on where you would like that healing to be done. And then just kind of like project your healing intent towards the other person. And they'll be projecting their intent towards wherever you're wanting your healing, where your hands are.
simultaneously or we take turns?
Yeah, simultaneously.
I just can't reach it. It's that L shape, the upside down L shapes.
And when we're all ready, or I'm going to sit back down, y'all can stay in this position as long as you want to, but when we're all ready, come back to circle. Miss Margarita. Yeah, the next step of your deep cold.
Oh, they're very cool. Yes.
Yeah, it's not the most insulated space, but it is.
On this, it's fine. And then it was like, oh, I've lost feeling in my toes.
We'll be on max in a little
Good.
bit. Cool. So that's just a little icebreaker thing to kind of get our energetics kind of flowing a little bit. So the next step is just to kind of go over some previous experiences we might have had with massage, go over our general experience level, and going over our body stuff, any like injuries, conditions, medications, allergies, anything that's pertinent to your ideal receiving of massage. Yeah, so who wants to go first in sharing their experience in giving or receiving massage?
I'll take it. I've had a lot of massages of a lot of different types over my entire lifetime. I had a partner for 10 years that we swapped every other week, so I've had a lot of experience with that. I did have a Thai masseuse for a while until she hurt her shoulder here in town. And what was the other question?
Your experience in giving and receiving, and just pertinent body stuff.
Oh,
as well.
body stuff. All of these things are uncomfortable, and so are these things. So if I'm face down for long, that might be kind of uncomfortable.
Generally,
And
space up.
Then these guys, I had an accident on I've been hit by cars and fallen off cliffs and things. So both of them can be sensitive, especially on the very tops. But otherwise, pretty good, I think.
You got muscle stuff or like organ, like
I think at
in
this
torso
point-
and here?
Oh, this
That-
stuff is, it's all woman things
Okay.
that are just,
Oh, okay, fair enough.
everything's unhappy.
Yeah.
If you don't have it, it's unhappy over here.
Thank you for patience and breaking it down for us.
Yeah.
Can only empathize there.
Organ stuff, thank you.
Oh, yeah.
And we will be doing like basic Thai massage, like organ stuff that's definitely advanced. Just to
Right, but if I was face down on a mat for a while, things are not going to be comfortable.
Yeah, pertinent.
I can go next. That's cool. Like I said, my experience started off a little bit cursory, but in paying attention to that, like I've sought out massages and I like to practice a lot, especially if I've got like a partner or friends that I know are generally like really tight and comfortable with me helping them work out whatever they have going on. I really like to be able to do that for folks, so any opportunity to maybe like get and draw from a new well of knowledge, or even an opportunity to just like lay down and just receive for a while, I find super educational. Different types of massages, I haven't really explored much other than some like pretty basic Western versions, and I've only had one time massage before in my life, and it was memorable. I wish I knew their name. Let's see, as far as things that are going on with me right now, as I mentioned, I keep generally chronic neck and shoulder pain. Something that's been a little bit new and I'm super curious about is if there's any potential for like nerve damage or maybe something representing arthritis climbing up my hands, because lately, like just even like fully extending like my bottom fingers here has made for like a really less fluid and more of like a strange kind of clicking or popping. Just to work on that, I'm noticing a little bit of like numbness upon waking up, especially if I've like slept on an arm or a limb funny, which is new to me.
We can talk after the class. Like this is awkward. So I've been practicing massage for a long time. We can't actually diagnose. Like we're not doctors.
Right.
Well, just that as it relates to like, yes, it's important to like be mindful of things like that. But I guess I'll be direct in saying that the scope of this class is going to be like just doing some basic stuff. Like hopefully, like that sensation does like lessen and decrease. But it is a definitely more advanced massage mindset to try to like fix stuff. Does that make sense?
Right.
So we can definitely try.
Sounds like circulation stuff.
That's what I'm hoping it is too. A lot of like that pins and needles and like in contrast sometimes loss of sensation.
And the pinky nerve can go right to where you're talking about. You have all that tension too, so.
Yeah, that's the ulnar nerve. I mean, I can refer you to like dermatome maps, and that might replicate the sensation map of what you're feeling. It's just again, I've chosen to be careful to not like say that I'm going to fix a thing, because that predicates a diagnosis, and we can't do that.
Yeah.
We can just try to make symptoms better. Cool. Is that clear?
Yeah, totally.
Cool. Yeah, like I've done this class a number of times, and that was an issue that we came up against a number of times. Like people wanting a specific functional outcome to be done to them, and that just really is a very much more that is advanced massage. Yeah, but I'll totally teach you all how to step on like this area, and we'll see if things happen.
Cool.
Yeah, and can I share a little bit more? Just so I've been practicing for almost 20 years or so. Just even being mindful of the somatics of your body. Like I had to go through just do that kind of somatic experiencing exercise. Identifying the interrelation of different tissues, like with a thing like radiculopathy in your fingers, like that takes some focus and attention to identify the correlation. Like the pec minor, for example, it can constrict your brachial plexus, which innervates your arm. And like, the radial side versus the ulnar side, that will tell you different things. It's a very nuanced, both verbal and body conversation to identify that causation, which is it's great. Like I do it all the time. I'm totally happy to try to engage in that conversation. It is an advanced technique.
Right.
Anything else?
No, that's where I'm at.
What was the
So
question?
previous experience with massage and any pertinent injuries or conditions or allergies, etc., as it relates to your receiving experience.
My past relationship with massage has been limited. Professional massages I could probably count on one hand. Giving unofficial massages, maybe 2 or 3 hands, but giving massages has been more of an intimate thing, not sexual, just intimate. So with, well, for sure lovers, but more often it's with folks that I have developed a trusting relationship with, where there is not tension when touch happens, so that there's like a welcoming to the touch, that like where I can like feel where the muscles are and where the tension, the natural tension is, not the social tension that like stiffen up and touch. And it's mostly been torso-based massages, usually up, back and torso. Not too much abdomen, front side. I mean, some front side stuff, but usually not too much in the extremities.
Happy to show some of those things.
If needed.
Yeah, I mean, I do want to speak to the agreement that y'all signed was like no sexual or flirting mojo in this class. And I think most people's experience with massage is probably something along those lines. Like massage can be a very intimate thing, but like that's safe. Like you spoke on that like safety of touch. That is what I'm trying to like nurture as just platonic cultural. I'm trying to enculturate platonic touch amongst people, and it's really a personal choice how intimate you want to go. Again, I'm offering basic Thai massage. I'm not gonna, there's gonna be no belly touching that I'm gonna teach, and y'all can, take whatever you learn here and do whatever you want with it.
Why is that?
What's that?
Belly touching.
Because I consider that to be advanced, and this is a basic intro, like.
No, there's organs and stuff, and belly stuff is complicated.
For a number of reasons. And we can talk after the class and I can explain my rationale more clearly, but it's advanced and this is a basic.
Yep. All right.
Like there's reasons that like licenses exist, basically. Yeah. But yeah, those were some good points.
Well, I'm just curious because it's something that I think that people could do with is it just easier to cause harm?
I mean, to be blunt, just there's usually too much the potential for somato emotional release or like things coming up from that belly touch, like the amount of rapport that is required and the amount of safety and container that are required for a practitioner to give abdominal massage to somebody safely is extremely high, and that is not something I'm comfortable facilitating in a, like, y'all have never met each other. And that's just not a safe thing to me based on my previous experience having.
Yeah, advanced is just vague. I was looking for particular, thank you.
Yeah, is that clear?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah, because like safety is kind of important. Slash essential. Cool. We have one more person, I think.
So that's my experience getting and receiving massage
And then body, as it relates to your receiving experience.
Right, okay. Yeah, probably the occasional shoulder massage in high school or whatever. Then, yeah, I did. I guess it was in my early 20s. I took a 2-hour per week, 10-week thing, taught by my Tai Chi teacher, and he was like a Traeger certified massage therapist or something.
Cool.
So it was not official Traeger, but I think that's more or less what he was teaching us.
Yeah. Trademarks are trademarks.
Right.
Bodies are bodies.
Yeah. So I really enjoyed learning that series as well, like jiggling in it. It was kind of cool. And yeah, I've probably received somewhere in the ballpark of 30-ish professional massages in the course of my life. Maybe one memorable series was I did have insurance coverage for a series of 10. We called like
Rolfing?
Wasn't Rolfing? It was like soma therapy. I think it was. I mean, again, this was back in the 90s, so that's probably a very vague term now. But
Well, it really is all just a trade. Generally speaking, it's a trademarked term.
Yeah.
For whatever individual
right. I think
franchise.
That's what
and
this
that's,
was.
It's
But
all
it
the
was-
same physiology.
Yeah.
It's just different names.
But I remember it being a cool series on the last session. She like did this amazing thing where she stuck her pinky up my nose and like released my sinus orifice or something like that. It was
Yeah.
very intense.
Yeah, that sounds more like a cranial sacral style work.
Yeah, at least that part of it, and it involved the whole body throughout the 10 weeks. But anyway,
I mean, it sounds weird until you like look at the anatomy and like it does have its use cases.
yeah. And then, more, over the last decade or so, I've been, or I will back up and just say, with partners, I haven't done as much massage as I would like to, both giving and receiving. And that's something that I imagine I would want in my relationships, but it just, for whatever reason, hasn't happened that much. But within the last 10 years, I've done a fair amount just because I've been in like the acro yoga community, and Thai massage is kind of one of the pillars of that practice, in my understanding, or at least how the way I was originally taught. Through, again, nothing very formal, but I have had the pleasure of participating in a few, hour-long classes of Thai massage. So, appreciated those. That's pretty much from that.
And body stuff?
And body stuff. I tend to be a little bit on the hyper-flexible side. That might be changing now that I'm midlife. But I would say maybe something that I have noticed is helpful for me is, again, kind of starting pretty slow with my muscles. Otherwise, I sometimes have a tendency to clamp up a bit. And then the one more acute thing is I did tear my popliteus, which is an obscure to me muscle in the back of my knee. That was back in December, so almost a year ago.
Okay.
Still recovering from it, but just, not looking for deep dives in the back of my right knee. Other than that, I don't have any. Oh, and I guess I have twisted this left ankle many times in my life. So again, like a lot of traction on that ankle might be a little sensitive.
Cool. Yeah, and that leads perfectly into the roles of both the giver and the receiver. What I'm going to facilitate is I'm going to kind of we'll set up the mats, and and then I'll delegate or designate who's going to start being the receiver and who's going to be the giver, and then we'll rotate with the simple exercise we're going to start with. I just want to go over like the giver and receiver roles. Like the receiver is running the show, basically. Like you mentioned that you initially clam up with touch, like to begin with. And what I want to teach, what I intend to teach y'all is like the listening skills to identify kind of where that edge is. And then the giver is going to listen to the receiver as they direct the giver to the amount of pressure and location and angle and all the other details that are pertinent to comfortability. And then we'll progress into the actual Thai massage, which you all came here for. But yeah, it's really, I find it integral to like what I call unwinding of both the nervous system and like the tissues of the body. That you work within the tolerance of the body. It is a little bit complicated and esoteric, but like, you know, there's all the nerves that signal everything to our brain, it gets complicated from there, but like basically there's signaling and there's perception. And I find in my massage practice that it's really important to allow for a little bit of lag time to give the receiver reaction time to then perceive and then communicate any minor adjustments so that they feel safe and can unwind. A phrase that I use all the time is if there's even a question in your mind, like if you even have to think about protecting yourself, that's too much. And that's my personal philosophy. Like some people, you know, they like to get it and go hard and be sore the next day. That's not what I'm going to advocate because I want us to feel good tomorrow and be mindful that. So the exercise I'm going to teach you first is somebody's going to be in a sideline position, and then the giver is going to step on the perineal area right in here, and then the receiver is going to say stop at whenever they want it to stop, and that exercise will hopefully show y'all where your threshold is for your sensational preference.
Is there alternative places to do that, especially if you have that knee tremble a little bit?
Oh, here's one.
Okay.
Well, it's the outside. There are a few bolts. Yeah, there are alternatives that I can teach. Yeah.
Something about a tear in your leg too at some point. So.
Cross that bridge when we get there or something.
Yeah, like my understanding of popliteus is that like torsion is an issue, and this is going to be compression.
I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, and I mean to that point, again, like hopefully the way that we're all going to proceed is that if there is an issue, you'll have time to say stop, that hurts, and then the giver will do that. And it's like the way I try to provide it is that hopefully you can't hurt each other because you'll be listening, like the giver and the receiver will both be listening and going slow enough to where you can communicate. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay. I know this might seem ridiculous and overcomplicated, but like these points are like essential to giving good massage, in my opinion, with 20 years of experience. So enough talk. Let's set up the mats. Let's have you two work with each other, and then you two work with each other. And Josh will be the receiver first, and you'll be the receiver first as well. Cool.
Is that me and him, or I did not understand those things.
So yeah, you two.
Okay. What?
Okay. I mean, I have no extra background whatsoever. The point of the somatic exercise is just an icebreaker, not to get to understand where somebody's stuff is.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that is an addendum or something I changed from the previous class. All right. Oh, we can double up. Like it is nice to have more space, and this side goes on that side. Yeah, just turn it around basically.
Cool. Getting down as the receiver, it sounds like I'm going to be face up.
You'll be in this position.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Well, side flipper anyway.
Side flip.
What is this?
Other way. So yeah, bottom leg straight, top at a 90 degree. So like your leg set. You okay with me demoing on you?
Yeah. Cool.
So if we have more people, there would be sometimes a trio where the giver could have like their hand on the shoulder for stabilization. Yeah, actually, let's do this. So for the givers, let's stand on one leg and see how that is. Does that feel relatively stable?
This like,
Well, yeah, touche.
that's been broken 5 times, so this side's always wobblier.
You okay? Yeah, so that's something to be mindful of.
Well, is it something that we can, like, put
Yeah,
some,
we'll be
like,
touching.
pressure on our heels?
Yes, like I'm just trying to
Not
illuminate stability is important. And it's a good, like, just standing on one foot is just a good, like,
Is there any rope?
no. No.
Handles.
I can be a shoulder for either of you if you want. That's for stability. Okay. So the way this is going to work. So I do recommend putting your heel on the mat first for stability. Backtracking. So I'm going to have both of you palpate the head of the fibula, which is right here. So here you touch this spot. Yeah, so that's a bone, and you want to start below that point. Yeah, so that's the fibula head. So you want to start like below that point, because bone on bone equals pain.
There's fibula. That's it.
And I'm going to show the thing.
All right.
So yeah, you want to have your heel be planted so you have like nice control. You can lunge from your back leg. And so there's other different ways you can do it, but what I recommend is kind of starting with like this tarsal surface being the articulation area. And so I'm going to progress nice and slowly, don't tell me when to stop.
So the receiver is supposed to say it's too much or something?
So like they're going to continue until you say stop. Or unless brains kick in and say this is a bad idea.
All right, well.
Is it? Yeah, so have at it.
All right.
And ask like homeopathical questions if you got them.
So should we do any?
Not yet. This exercise is devised to enforce that the receiver is in control and that the giver is listening and that we are communicating. So do the thing and let me know when you're ready to progress. You done it?
Yeah, we already
Stop.
got it.
Cool. Switch roles. Again, this might seem reductive, but it's not. It's good to go through these things.
Yeah, on that.
So other ways. So bottom leg straight. Yeah, perfect. And so Josh will have you palpate that fibular head.
That's right. Yes, I have that too.
Yeah, so just feeling where the bone is, and then being mindful to have your foot be below that point.
I feel like it's near the top of the bone.
Pressure down.
And then
Yeah.
use what you recommend off the right foot here, Gabriel.
So it's actually not about my recommendation. It's more about what feels better to you as the giver. Because that's another component is in the giver position, like you're being mindful of the receiver, but you're not going to like compromise your structural integrity to give energy to them. Ideally, you're trying to be as like lazy as possible, and like if your knee hurts, like change that. And not all poses are going to work for everybody too. Like you just have to modify things sometimes. Cool. And once they're done, we'll switch and we'll do it so everybody does this
You're gonna
exercise.
start pressures. Do you want to use a word? Send something. Okay.
What's this spot called? The peroneals. It's the peroneal muscle group. They're all involved in ankle stabilization. It's just basically the spot where it's really hard to hurt somebody. So like that's why I'm offering it as a easy peasy way to start.
Can do that more.
Yeah, so Margarita and Jerry, I'll have you switch mats, and then we'll do it again.
And the other side of this
Oh, so Jerry and Marguerite will be in the receiver roles, and we'll switch after you do that. And maybe try the other side.
Oh yeah, why not?
And if it hurts, like, if this position's uncomfortable, like, say so.
Oh, you're brilliant.
Oh, nice. Very tight for the win.
Alright, ready to receive?
Sure.
I think I've got 3 back here too.
There we go.
Top of your bone. What would you want to use to let me know it's enough?
Just to
Yeah, it's down there. The bone's there, so somewhere here or lower.
Stop. Cool. And when you're done, just switch roles and we'll progress into the next. Alright. That was it?
I heard ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then switch roles and then we'll do some time massage.
Here's your bone. That soft stuff there. Yeah, and that was work.
Thank you.
Stop and raise your hand a little bit.
Alright.
Oh, you're there. That's perfect.
Cool. Yeah, cool. Alright, who wants to be, yeah. So, like, I do have like a basic cookie cutter Thai massage series that I'd be happy to show you all. Do you want to start with that, or do you want to try doing a more tailored approach?
Sorry,
Cookie cutter sounds,
Yeah, okay. So Josh, would you mind laying face up? So just like with that exercise we just did, we'll kind of like rotate through and just so everybody's looking at everybody else. The rationale being that like if you receive for too long, you're gonna get cut, you're gonna be floating and you won't want to give anymore. Yeah, so what I like to usually start with, depending on what the receiver has requested of me, is just like doing some, like starting with some jostling. And I like to kind of look at the body and see where the wave that I'm creating is and isn't moving. Like I'm noticing Josh's right hip and left shoulder stand out to me as not moving as much as the opposite side. And that's just me bearing in mind, like, you know, how I would be tailoring the session, which might not be super perfect right now. Yeah, so I'll do like a short sequence and then we'll progress from there. So I start with the row boat and move the body aside. So you kind of grab the foot, grab the bottom of the knee, help the leg up, which you can all, again, you look at all the entire way. How's your hip doing? Cool. Some people's hips aren't flexible enough to do this. There's a number of ways you can do it from here. I can kind of grab the ankle. If you have an ankle injury, that's probably not going to work. So you can grab above the ankle and then grab the opposite leg for traction, because I'm going to push on the hamstring and I'm going to pull at the same time. Having a solid form, so I'm using my back muscles, not my, you know, hunched over muscles. And I like to target kind of with my foot kind of at an oblique angle, going in and then up. And then just kind of repeating that. And how's that pressure doing? Good. Is your ankle okay to do some traction?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you just kind of repeat this. Generally, I kind of divide the hamstring into like 3 lines. Like I'll start at the bottom and do an inch apart or so, go to the midline and do a couple inches apart, and then go to the top line. And you can, yeah, and we'll go from there. Let's just start with that and progress from there.
You want to do both sides and keep it even?
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, so let's have you two work there and Jerry work here. You have the receiver? And all rows. Yeah. So yeah, start with the jostle with the feet to identify things. And Gabriel, be mindful of your body mechanics. Try to be as lazy as possible. Stack the joints.
I'm supposed to recognize things.
I mean, don't worry about it. It's just something
I
hard.
don't know how advanced I am to be able to identify, that left was a little.
Like, I noticed some wiggle when I jostled it.
Which I don't think it was. It looked like.
I think don't worry about it for right now. So I was working on that side. So then you want to sit with your feet on the outside, facing this way.
Like that.
And then lift this arm, you're gonna grab underneath the knee, and then lift it up.
All right.
So bring it all the way, so bend the knee towards his chest.
Okay. Like that.
So you're gonna wanna have it be at a kind of 90-degree angle.
Okay.
And then with this, this foot, ideally you have core strength and kind of grab it from here. You can just let it down, just depends how you want to do it.
Okay.
And you want the kind of top of your foot to be here, to kind of be, like if it's not comfortable, then it's not working.
Yeah.
I've never tried this before. Definitely
Okay, that's fine. So
That's
we
awesome.
reset and get out of that position.
I go there. Like you That's it?
Okay. So I'm gonna demo a thing. We'll see if you think your body will be able to. So what about doing something like
Go back.
this?
Sure.
Okay.
So for this one, it's kind of the same thing, but you're kind of using the weight of the leg, and you kind of pull down. For glute stuff. It's more glutes and hamstring, yeah. Just you do have a lot of mechanical advantage, because you're using like your foot as a fulcrum, basically.
Yeah.
Just do super cute into Josh. He's like, ow, that hurts.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
We'll see if that goes better for you.
Okay. Give me a little bit.
I'm gonna show you.
Get to it.
How y'all doing?
I'm figuring it out. It's like my gosh, there's a little bit
Do you want to try to straighten your back and modify it? And you can now like move your butt back or towards her and away from her to make your posture be more leveragey. And like what I try to be mindful of is like kind of having like the ideal, like because your leg straightening is kind of what's giving it the strength. So putting that at a advantageous, like, just play with where your butt's at basically. And give yourself mechanical advantage.
Yeah, you think if my leg was
Move it along the
more
hamstring.
out,
Yeah, it's 90
you
degrees.
might have better traction here.
Yeah, and it does give you like a flatter,
Yeah, there you go.
the 90-degree angle does give you a flatter surface to have your foot articulate with. Better? Yes.
That's the sound we want?
You actually want to use your other foot?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I was. Oh, okay. And like so like maybe without putting any pressure, just kind of play with the rotation of his leg. Like right now, it's kind of you're kind of like internally. Yeah. So like right now, his leg is kind of externally, and you're torsioning the joint a little bit too much.
Oh, okay.
My hips
So like
are a little tired.
so reposition your body to come to this position. It's like bring your butt this to your right.
Okay.
And then kind of position your butt to a point
Oh,
where
look, you're a pro on this
it's
side.
going to be comfortable for this
Yeah, right
knee
here.
and this foot to take his weight.
Well, okay.
Like that. Yeah, and then this ankle's going to be at the inside.
Okay.
And so like this, yeah, that's there. You can put it on the top side for that mechanical advantage. Like, how's your body doing with like in this position?
Still sucks.
What's hurting?
Like,
Like the hamstrings or?
kind of the whole leg.
Okay, maybe we can try just doing stepping stuff.
Where are you at, Josh? You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine so far.
Okay.
Like you do need to have like really good control, but you can kind of use your shin to look over the quad. And I don't know what that is. So you like have your mind like feel where the bone is and where the elbow is, and you can work on just the muscle in between. You can like, do you think this position would be better for you? I hope.
I'm just not very flexible.
And I'm trying to modify it to accommodate. Yeah. So yes, you do 3 points of contact, so you have total control over how much weight.
So like, using my shins?
Yeah, the flat. So you're trying to target like basically like this area right here.
Yeah.
And so like before you exert, like feel where that bone is.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like you want to similar to the fibular head. You want to. Yeah, you want to start kind of like below this point, and there are lots of sensitive structures in the hairline area that you don't want to compress. So you want to stick with like your weight on the meat.
I think the midline.
So shin like this?
Yeah, like generally what I find that's just like a kind of gentle oblique. So a little bit diagonal, like snap targets.
So do you want more pressure there?
Nope, so you want to have this foot be on this side, and you want to be mindful of where the patella is too. You don't want to. And then start with that, and then get feedback.
There's like people.
And feel free to use like percentages of like I want 10% more or 3% less. Like I find that to be more helpful than like that was good or what have you. You can't necessarily feel it is on and off.
I'm going to try and get a little bit
Okay.
Evenness.
A little more pressure on the outside edge.
That?
Especially now, plus the knee will be big.
Roughly there.
How's that exertion level for you, Steve? How's your exertion level?
I do 10% wrong. Meaning I might exhaust myself by doing it.
Sweet.
Trying to make sure I got like good angle on this.
Looks
It's
like
got a bit of a tremor anyway, so I'm trying to make sure that I'm letting my skeleton do a lot of the work and not being like push too much in any particular.
this one is going to be muscular contraction, which is going to be the tremor thing. It's just the way it is. There are a lot of Thai poses where it is just gravity, which is super lazy and awesome.
Need any evening out?
Alright.
Yeah, maybe switch roles and do the same thing.
Monitor the other side?
Yeah.
Cool. That's our good lifestyle.
Whenever I started trying to make sure that I like go down someone's side and just like get them into a rocking motion anyways. I find it helps some people down.
And the closer, like, so you're kind of high up, like, so you're your shin right there, like the further away from your knee joint, the less mechanical advantage you have.
Okay, so you need my knee joint?
What is, if you have the weight kind of be more here, you're gonna get more bang for your back.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I guess I'll
I'm
let
just trying to go to the flattest part.
Yeah,
Maybe we'll start this a little bit
to balance kind of.
It's not like a part of my leg.
Yeah.
Okay, I see what you mean there.
Okay, put my counts.
And nice 3 points. And I might articulate a little bit more slowly to kind of do the given time to respond.
Okay.
And how's that sharpness or not? How much she's articulating with your leg?
So yeah,
How does that feel?
this is excellent. It was a little bit tight at first, but we moved it and found the right spot.
Nice.
Yeah, you definitely have like.
Yeah, my tendons like reach out.
Which side would you say was more sore?
So this side is more solid. I'm just still on this side. This is the one I'm going to
Okay,
Oh, that's not so good. Yeah.
Yeah.
my left leg, so it's a little rough.
Yeah.
And then maybe all switch roles when you're feeling complete with that.
That's okay. There's not a lot of very rapid.
And like I do like sometimes having a bolster for
It
the
is
seat
usually
as
good,
well.
like,
Too.
take them,
Like
like,
if
take the best
it hurts your way out to lay flat. Or just try laying flat and we'll see.
Okay. Chip.
What we can
So,
Yeah, try the robot. I mean, it's really whatever you're in.
check in with your body here.
Yeah.
A little shake. So you have very firm feet.
Most of my body is on top of each other. Yeah.
Start with this leg. So Gabriel, I haven't really seen the demo.
Yep, right. So if you want to do the rowboat, you're going to put your butt on the outside of the ankle.
Okay.
So on here.
Mirror.
Then you're going to grab or hold the foot, and then grab the knee, and then you just bring it up. And then with your outside leg, you're going to put it to the knee to help it kind of drop out. It really depends if its hips are comfortable
Right.
possible.
Yeah. Okay.
Like if, yeah. So how's that feeling, Jerry?
I mean, okay.
Cool. And then you might bring your butt a little bit closer to the midline. And that takes time to like figure out. And with your inside foot, you kind of, I usually start at the middle. That's where like the biggest part of the muscle belly is. And and then just see how it feels to press this knee towards the ground. It really, it's a combination, like it just, depends on their body, obviously, but it's also just like whatever feels best to you. Like I find what I do most of the time is like hug this opposite foot. Well, it's just kind of pressure, because like as you push with your leg, like
I can feel like right at the bottom of my heel, right, it's the little spot right there.
Okay, I'm learning to move here, Jared. I'm slowly apply more pressure.
Sounds good.
Wherever you put it, right?
More, you want less?
More.
More.
and just be mindful to not overexert yourself, that your body limitations are part of the process.
Right. Probably. Near my comfortable max right now.
Yeah, I would say below that point.
Below that.
And similar like with what I modified for him, like you can, if you're noticing that they want more pressure than your body wants to give, is like you could do that shin thing, or like there's ways to step on the body and let gravity do the work as opposed to your muscles.
Jerry, will you let me know if by chance it's too much?
I will.
Okay.
I mean, it takes a lot for sure.
Yeah, and maybe Jerry, a challenge to you while you're receiving is to identify like how different parts of your body are responding to the pressure. Like just noticing your breath rate, noticing like how your hands are feeling, like your jaw or your tension zone. Like being the receiver role can be a pretty active process too. You can take it or leave it.
Yeah. Well, let's try to work the language for that. That's the decision. I'd like to be more sensitive to being able to identify it. That's kind of what my body is asking for. But,
Where's your tension right
It's
now?
not there or deeper.
that's good.
Yes.
The strongest was closer to my knee.
Is your mind, or do you want that? Do you want to actually go back to that point, or do you want to have that be kind of more smoothed out? Like,
What's your great opinion?
Yeah, I really defer to instincts. Like there's a whole bunch of information our brains are processing, but like if our instincts are saying, I want this or that, I find it wise to listen to it. Because like again, you're in the receiver role, you're more welcome to direct what's being done to you. That's ideal. Because then you're able to.
Well, that's a bit much.
Okay. Like 10%? Too much?
Yeah, 10% too much.
And
like muscle belly, it's really more turns into the
You got the control on this
It's
side.
really easy, but the
Right,
other side was
closer
hard
to my body was,
foot.
like,
So much.
I guess I like that.
Yeah, like there's like the glute max and such.
You press on your heel or kind of
It depends. Like that looks great to me. Like if I was gonna change anything, I'd probably change the angle of the leg to be a little bit higher, and it is.
right, yeah.
Because that makes it easier for you to articulate the
So
part.
yeah, that's my bad. I'm a teacher
Hard to
for
find
manual
it
labor.
makes you support that.
I go to do that in
Whoa, try not to
Oh,
support
We're
it.
in my entire summer.
Because you're trying to support the base weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, so try something and get feedback from as to what's helpful and set. That's gonna take us. Like, it's weird, but I find that the lazier you are, the better it feels, and the easier it is for you. It's just the way it is. It's the way it is. Yes.
So they're gonna play with how your knee angle, or like
Yeah.
angle. How is that
The
angle?
pressure is
Yeah.
definitely.
You know, like the band.
No.
And that might change with exertion.
Like a little lower, like okay.
And then you're not
Very
exerting your
narrow.
leg. It's
Yeah, you got it.
I know I'm backwards.
Oh,
We're trying.
But there's no.
Yeah, it's definitely
rules.
working.
More or less, not
Maybe
right?
it's working. It's working.
It feels very fair this way. You don't break your foot.
No, it's not gonna break again. It's just
Trying to
true.
be
The bones are fine.
Trying to
Stress.
higher line.
Yeah, it took my feet quite a long time to get flexible enough to be able to comfortably
Yeah.
do that stuff.
This one's fine, the other one.
Like, I don't know if you would be able to do this, but like, if you can get like a
You
little
press
press
like
on
that.
Oh, yeah,
It used to be flexible before it broke it all over the place.
Yeah.
Now it's just like, no.
It can be nice to like meet the edges, to like get a little, I don't know, like some bones they're just there now.
That's really good pressure. Are you able to bring it up like right under? Everything else is like, yeah. You got it.
Yeah, it's great.
That is
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted more of a challenge, I'd try to like be lazier while giving. I'm serious.
Yeah.
Transition to.
Try to be lazy.
Yeah.
You get around that
I mean, having good posture usually is the laziest path for me. Like using the mechanics and form to maximize the effort. Does that make sense?
Okay, we're gonna slowly get these to this side.
Mhm.
How far down to this one keep going?
Right.
How's that?
Okay.
Okay.
Once you
Go ahead.
got the front back there. Just
Yeah.
might make a pop.
For sure. I didn't even know those guys were so.
Yeah, holsters.
Mine.
Would that be helpful?
Well, like I said, I really find
Yeah.
that like it's a breaking point. Like if you go to TLC.
So you kind of like show this underneath.
Oh, like that.
No.
Yeah, it's sort of like
It is very tense. I would be able to go to the knee and like
ankle out, it's like on beyond the table. I love you. This is so good.
You want more?
Please, yeah. Do you want to be a receiver?
Yeah. Okay, so like this is a kind of a, I'm gonna kind of like work on your sacrum, pushing on your femurs.
Okay.
It's gonna be good.
The muscle itself is good.
Okay.
The hand placement.
Oh,
So if you listen to the,
I don't think it would help. Some people are not
Okay,
gonna.
yeah, so
Alright,
hand
I'll-
placement.
It just has to be flexible more where your hand was.
Yeah.
Where your hand was.
Oh, okay.
support with your knees.
Yeah.
Place the heels
I think you're
into your hips.
Yep.
Support the knees so they don't like, do the thing. And give weight person.
You just want to fly.
Well, I mean, yes, but that's not what we're doing right now.
If I can't put enough pressure down on just my weight, then we'll go inside.
So how's that feeling for your hips?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Not bad.
It
It feels very opening in like this direction.
Yeah, that is the intent. So then what I like to do is kind of like push the weight to one side and kind of oscillate back and forth. And again, that's kind of like stretching out the sacrum, which you just open up the hamstrings, so it's nice to open up more things. You want another thing to work on? So, yeah, so I already showed this to them, but again, in line with opening up the hips, you can kind of work on the quad. I like to kind of sometimes readjust the leg that's externally rotated. So I'm going to be putting my shin here. I like to kind of balance with the hip on the opposite side for kind of 3 points of contact, like, so I'm super solid and have control. I'm articulating the foot with the knee for kind of appropriate side awareness. And then kind of slowly
Okay, with the knee, sure, I did the leg.
let me move it on.
That's right, I might need to bolster here. Yes.
Cool, it's like that's their threshold, and I'll just kind of like stay within that. And kind of just do some compressions down and around. The intention being to work over the quad. Cool, so I'm going to try those two things.
Yeah. Yeah, sir. We could match that. Okay, going pressures.
You want to start with the sacrum thing?
Alright. Let's catch that first and then go back to it. We can start with six.
Okay.
Well, it really is neither's choice. Like, it's all just composition.
Yeah, further down and away from the knee would be great.
I'm gonna make sure it's going straight upward, or is that an angle fine?
I'm going to make sure it's
All my muscles lay going to.
Because you want to make sure that
Yeah.
you want to make sure that they're not going to, because you're wanting to like have
Further down.
Yeah,
further
further down
straight,
better.
so that your weight translates further already into this thing. And then feedback would be equal.
Any more?
There we go.
Less.
And then if you want to try shifting your weight from the right to the left, and that'll kind of oscillate and mobilize that sacrum. And does it feel like your knees are going at all?
A little bit.
Yeah.
I'm hypermobile too, a little bit.
Yeah, see,
Make
I,
sure you're keeping straight down over everything.
yeah, you just don't want, you don't want the knee to be bending this way, because that's not how it's meant to bend.
It
So,
does that
like,
though.
for something, this might not work, like height proportion wise, but ideally, well, like I was able to put my knees underneath here to support the bowing, or the not bowing. That's going to compromise your body.
Down.
So,
Yeah,
I
you're
suppose it doesn't work.
Okay.
So you just gotta like move on.
Back here.
Well, no, it just happens. Like, it's just a physics reality where like a short person and a tall person are working with each other, so it moves us towards the right.
I feel
Those
those
two like, you know, have access
that's
to
where
it.
it got a little more like painful.
So we like to put them right there.
Yeah, and then it feels like the meat spreads out. Take more
Modify your muscles. You want some more?
And then I was thinking you were saying that.
Yeah, it felt like,
It was something up here.
Yeah, it felt like it wanted to be more directly under or even towards the side.
Is that too much? No, not at all. I
There's
feel like
a
right
way
on
to
that
get to all that tissue
muscle
in the sideline position. It does just involve stepping.
Whack, whack, whack,
Get you all out.
whack. You feel that?
Sure.
Yeah, that's about as much pressure.
It's the same as the initial, so bottom leg straight, top leg free. Yeah, perfect. So just like, there's lots of different ways to do it. But I like to do more than I can kind of do that, you know, perennial stepping as we already did. But then you can kind of like change your feet, and then with your heel on the ground, you have access to like this stuff. Mainly the medial hamstring, which I think is pretty tight on you. With this one, again, you just got to be like super mindful of balance, and that can be your shoulder if you want to. Oh, okay. Yeah, and then you just kind of, so let me know when you want, when you've had your mats. And like that's this threshold, and that's where I would stay below. Cool. Want to try that? Sure.
Is that right?
Here.
When I go over the 10?
Yeah, it's a lot.
Different things are gonna work with different.
People are okay with stuff coming into it.
Alright.
Does that feel good?
It's for the fun side, or for the kid side.
Pause for a
Oh,
second.
my empty band's just as
Again, if we can like try to keep the muscles rotating that way as opposed to
Yeah, okay.
forward way, that's helpful. And yeah, that's the main thing that goes so far.
Do you want a pillow, Josh?
Sure.
I need some place for work. Thanks.
There's another one in case.
Nice.
Is that okay?
Rotating towards the back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I find like an oblique angle onto the, like through the leg generally feels best.
Like that way?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Let that pressure.
Yeah, that's about right.
If you can, try to like broaden the articulation surface as much as possible, especially initially. Lower fascia. Yeah, just like, you know, instead of like a super small area, it's better to have it be.
Oh, yeah, okay. So using more of the base of the foot.
It's more about like what your foot is trying to grasp
Area.
in regards to fascia and such. It's a usually
Oh,
pretty tight.
yeah, this side's
Tight
way
area.
beyond more. He just like,
I'm gonna come back over here and get it for
Yeah, how are we all doing? Is this an enjoyable experience so far, or?
you. Yeah, come on, I would.
What's feeling better, upper or lower?
Yeah, uppers, like,
Yeah.
yeah, sort of like what you were saying, it's like,
Yeah,
or
a lot of
the muscle is straight, it's down towards the knee, it's a little.
This is a spooky one because I have that one right on this thing.
Mm.
I just have crap balance. I'm not a skateboarder.
My shoulder's here for you.
Next pass, you can do like one spot for the damage.
Yeah.
Alright.
yeah, it's good.
Would
It's fine.
do you think slower would be nicer?
I hear.
That could be,
Yeah, I mean, again, in the receiver role, it's totally up to you to kind of like ask for that if you think it would be nicer.
That's just lower, more or less.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's why I
could be a good thing to
It's
practice.
a practice, I know. There are these ladies that would get massages from the beach. And they were so rough with me that I had purple everywhere afterwards, but it was so good.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
I
was
think
like,
so.
damn it, I'm purple again. We just get in there, man.
You go get a massage, put it in there.
Not there.
I really don't want to
Like I had
lose
running
almost
bubbles
300
and I
pounds.
don't want to just,
How's that?
And
Attention.
go a little more.
Just like stay right there.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
then, yeah, that same concept of the more it can be like rotating towards the backside, the
Yeah.
more comfortable it is. Yeah.
Same.
Move this knee down just a little bit.
Just to be mindful that there are some kind of sensitive and danger kind of sites in the posterior area. Just, yeah. No knees there.
Oh,
Great
yeah.
spot.
Lord, not in my state.
Okay.
Or the femoral nerve and artery, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Nice roll.
Alright.
Yeah, I'm good. I might start to get too floaty after we have a your turn.
See what I mean?
Now we want to look at that out.
And
down or bottom up?
It's just nice. All right, well.
Top down.
Legs
Try
out.
bottom up.
Yeah, try the bottom. Just for fun.
And ideally, your knees are kind of supporting so that the knees don't lock.
Yeah. Top down.
Oh, good. If I had platform shoes.
So there is an adaptation, bring them back to the ground. You can do it one at a time that forms a kind of similar-ish function. It doesn't get the sacrum, but you can kind of lay the leg over the
All right, sounds good.
a little bit of traction, just kind of pull that way. How does that feel?
So you might pull a little further.
You know, like 15%? Or, yeah, like that.
Sure. Yeah, that's 50.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going for
Yeah, that's it. That's the visualization.
Yeah.
But the idea is like feel a little bit of tension and then traction. And then the jostle, just kind of like how far left did you feel that?
Oh, it's kind of stuck. So
Great.
That's very good.
Let's try the second.
Okay, you might bring your ankle a little bit further. Yep, so like with the bottom leg, you just want to press a little bit towards the mat with your, whatever. And then you just kind of move your body weight this way and then jostle. I'd say more like above here.
And slowly increase
And
pressure.
not so much grabbing the skin, but grabbing like the actual tissue. You want to any modifications?
Lower that in for the
That's good.
Okay.
Over the ankle.
Yeah.
It's not painful, it's just good.
Yeah. So slowly work
The
down.
release comes from pushing that knee like towards the garage doors.
Yeah, so to like kind of shift all this stuff down.
Am I in a good position here?
Are you comfortable?
Yeah.
Then you are.
You're gonna get that a little more pressure, like in that direction. Wherever comfortable.
I did earlier. There we go. There's
A
good.
little lighter, so get closer to the knee here. Probably the last one.
Yeah, that does release a little bit off the tailbone.
Kind of cool, but like with more advanced stuff, you can kind of like grab the ankle and then like modify it.
It's not at an angle.
Yeah. But that changes the tonicity of the
Yeah,
ankle.
everything else like this,
right.
but the knee, then that look, the knee should kind of just like get to the outside of the leg. Ooh, yeah, that's good. That's much pressure.
Yeah, that could be a pretty spicy one. So you want to be nice and gentle, or progressive. Yeah, I find myself doing like more the melt method. I'll just like slowly compress and hold and then release over
Yeah, I
like
can
20
see how it's like
seconds.
spending too much time stitching. So just like that, it's like,
More fast.
yeah, for sure. Just a little bit.
You might try to broaden the amount of shin articulation, if possible. It's not always, but
Yeah.
There's where it should go.
in a more advanced versions, you can kind of like rock the opposite hip at the same time. Like you're kind of like pinning the quad and then like through the pelvis, doing some mobilization. It just depends if it's comfortable or not. Yeah, I love that like no two Thai massages that I give are the same. You just like, there's so many different ways to do all the things.
Cool.
That's good.
I can feel you're tight there.
Okay, start slow. Say it again.
Maybe even 5% more.
Okay, cool. I've been trying to teach like some basic Thai massage before acro yoga classes, because like hamstrings are always so tight on people. I can't elbows.
That's
Okay, okay. As we get closer to the knee, it gets a little spicier.
That's pretty much always going to be the case.
Yes, right.
Like, you don't want to twist menisci or anything. How's it doing on your ankles, Margarita? Yeah? Yeah, you can do the step method with that too. Ish.
Ooh, that would be interesting to try. You might.
So heel on, right there.
Oh, that feels good to me too.
Well, right up.
Okay, church. Every time I move my wrist up, me up my car. Stretch. And that one. I lose balance with those creases. It's just because I'm sure they're going to crease.
Thank you. If you want to use that for balance, it's really helpful.
All right. I stepped in a crease.
Does your hamstring flexibility feel any different?
Yeah, a little bit.
What do you notice?
Just feels springier. Yeah. It feels like it's pulling my weight up a little more.
Awesome.
Good.
What's that?
Or whatever.
I think it's better to stay down.
Whatever.
That's why we saw.
What else do you want to learn?
It's all arm stuff.
Yeah. Lay face up.
What's that?
So whichever.
All right.
Arms. Well, define arm stuff.
Good practice.
This is excellent too.
We've done it again. Well, wait, I haven't done it. Okay.
Not carries your knee, but that's more advanced. Just kind of gently compressing the bicep. How's that? Let you tell me.
There we are.
Just doing kind of like pulses a little bit above that.
Okay.
Just meant to mobilize, like generally speaking, the biceps are usually very tight and relate to the shoulder. I find it wise to open them up before.
When I work out, those hurt the most.
More the elbow, the shoulder.
When I work out? In the crick of my elbow.
Is it more on this side or more on that side? Okay, yeah, that's what I said. Do you want a mirror?
Sure.
Yeah,
Oh,
Jerry requested moving the shoulder stuff.
Well, I have arm stuff. I'm interested in the extremities because I have very little experience with that.
Oh, okay, cool.
I'm going to start with legs, so.
Yeah, so we're starting with some, so like I like to start with the bicep, and then I kind of move to this. Okay. Then I move to this and do some like traction. Generally speaking, like the forearms are super tight. Yeah, and you kind of.
Sorry.
Sorry, I need biceps. So I like to shorten the bicep. Place my hand kind of on the here.
I'm keeping my balance too because of that.
So I just know that and always be a bit below it. So I just, repeat that a number of times.
You're like 15.
Yeah, we're doing it right now.
Yeah, I guess I'll just give you the original.
I'm better at it.
Then you kind of rest the wrist on your leg to get access to kind of this stuff, so the pressure is supported. And I don't know, like, there are better ways to do this, but this works for it. So it is going to be all core strength, giving you your power here. And same as the bicep, you kind of do an oblique, so pushing in to the inside edge, and then kind of rolling.
You balance on your left a lot?
Balance on the left a lot?
Just below the wrist, and then eating
I
up.
feel like I kind of try to get even Prince to balancing.
I can feel different muscles.
Just pay this on your wrist, right?
So I might just go on like feel my target.
That's good. You got good core then.
Next time it's a little bit. Just
After
let
that last break on my foot, I was like trying to,
you want to be super spicy and dexterity, you kind of like rotate.
like have the balance of
Presuming
the
it's
one leg
comfortable
going.
while you're resting. And then I'll do a little bit of what's called
Flip off.
stretch, where you're the rotation is stretching.
It's just such a joke. It's like full decorating work. I just couldn't do that.
Inviting tissue to
and anyone I know.
unwind.
Who's that?
I just one of my best friends.
Oh, yeah. I used to do that.
And after you've done that, and everything's feeling relatively limber, you kind of like hold the pressure into the sky, and then bring the foot so it's underneath the shoulder. That's what just going to, the placement's going to totally depend on too many things. So we'll just get your feedback for this. I'll just take one at a time. So
toes or the floor as far as
yeah,
that.
observe position, so the bottom hand
Put my
is like
hands on the
so.
floor and my hand,
Actually,
my elbows
you're
are
really
moving
sorry.
at the time, not now. And he was like, you can't.
Yeah, and then grab, pinky, and then
What?
your other hand's
What?
grasp the thumb, again, doing so, and then you just whip
Where was that?
straight back. You gently traction, just knowing that like it's probably going to be really intense. Like you're going to give a lot of mechanical advantage. And this one is kind of more advanced because like, you can cause injury here too. So just move especially slow, give him plenty of time for that haptic feedback, and progress from there, making sure that it feels pleasant. That is essential.
Good.
Yeah, do you want to try the foot placement in addition?
Yeah.
So you lift up. And I'm kind of articulate, like his shoulders kind of resting on like this part of my foot. But you just throw with what feels good. And again, it's like every different minutia you do is going to affect different like, stretching angles and such. So just play with it.
Okay, so did you want me to get that opposite or that alternative to just put the
Oh, you want to try
right
just
there?
the
Yeah.
lean? Yeah, sure. It feels really good on your calves. And then just get that release.
I feel pretty good. Maybe try 3% more.
And feel free to rotate the wrist as well, and that's going to change the tonicity in the different spots.
That's that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you pull in right in that. Stay pull in.
Bring your hand on top of the, yeah, perfect. And then
That's
I'll
right,
bring
yeah.
your traction.
That's a good spot.
Sure.
I can feel that in my lower back.
Pull that in. There
Does that feel better?
we go. Yeah.
Do y'all want to learn some cat stuff? I've heard that word a number of times from y'all.
Yeah, we are.
Oh, no, not at all. You mean, you're doing your thing.
Oh, I'm good. I'm
That's easy. Yeah.
Jake, when you were starting the square, how did you, was it straight or was it bent?
To put your foot underneath the shoulder?
No, it's four more that when we were doing that.
Yeah, so have the tricep be on the mat, and then you probably want to facing this way.
I think I have better
And
memory.
then your right hand
I
is
have
gonna, and again, it's an additional threshold.
Here.
It just, again, it depends.
Yeah.
You holding it there is gonna shorten the bicep, and generally speaking, the muscles tend to like opening the
I look, right?
But it
No.
depends. You can rest it on it if you want.
Okay.
Because I can give you like 2 minutes to work with.
I don't know what the takeaway is. Maybe a dog?
Right, look at some cat stuff.
Cat stuff?
Cat stuff.
Cat stuff.
Cool. It's not, no, actually. Your ankles are okay, right? Good. So this might not work for you giving.
My ankles are fine. I broke the ball of my foot is the worst part.
I'll show you inside.
Okay.
So with this one, you kind of put the knees on either side of the ankle. The idea being that like if you kick out this way, that your thighs would stop. And you can kind of like interlock your fingers behind here. And then with straight arms and straight back, getting all your power from your core, you can just kind of pull that way. And you can kind of like rotate a little bit. And release. It's kind of like your rolling,
parts of the
your rolling issue.
However.
I'm doing that work at the moment. You can do both.
It was kind of
Bend
I
arm.
think when you're like that palm has been most of the way.
Okay, cool.
And I think with this one, the squeeze, like full squeeze instead of pulsing.
Okay,
Feels like a little better.
Cool.
The pulsing looks good on the bicep.
Yeah, straight back, good. I might have you move your ankle to the outside of your knees.
And the rest of the thing has
Like-
like squeeze.
Yeah, so bring your knees a little bit further that way. Or yep. Yeah.
Oh, that's not comfy though.
Oh,
It
well
was
then,
better before.
then forget about
I was gonna hold me.
Yeah. Earrings in my ankle.
Yeah, I like both your knees.
I have the same amount of bones.
But if I ever can't get like a finger strength or whatever, I'm trying to just like help somebody out or just like,
Oh, yeah.
top to just like, those are like my own decent deals.
We'll get there. That's another simple, easy thing to do.
Those are awesome.
Yes, they are. Yeah, so the bottom hand wraps around.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's on top of it, so it's like that.
Strong handshakes.
Yeah.
Traction pressure checking in.
Yeah, from your
Got that
core.
there.
Giving plenty of lead time for response if needed. And for the receiver, you want to be mindful of if anything in here, saying no. Just the injury concern side is the shoulder.
Yeah, well, yeah, it makes sense. It's like, you want to dislocate your shoulder.
There are things where this is not appropriate to do.
This is good.
Tension.
Good. I don't know, it was just the way
Yeah,
I'm really interested in that.
Keep it out.
Yeah, even out me a little bit.
Sorry.
Even.
I mean, I don't, it's not bad. It's just like,
Sure.
Say that again.
How does this feel?
English is hard.
English is hard, especially when you're trying to relax.
it's a pleasant, it's like a pleasant,
Like,
like,
this is
stretching.
como usar español como
Hey.
It's not bad, it's not really neat, but it's
Sing.
You keep on saying this.
Do you have an insight?
I mean, no, but kind of.
I guess I have the English.
Alright,
No, well, I mean, I'm just trying to make sure that there's enough time for me to flip
I
out.
think I got a comment on Saturday so much yesterday.
Okay,
We started seeing these things.
starting with.
You can interpret that as you wanted. Speaking tongues.
Yeah, you can start with whatever you want to. I just find most of the time opening up like the typically tight spots just helps with the attraction.
Thinking I'm not being.
Going from the core out has seemed to be working, like when we were working legs, and I think it was better than going from top down or
From
bottom
the center out.
From the center out.
Yeah,
Uh,
everybody's gonna be different. It's just the way it is.
okay. Grip your gauge, moving.
Yeah, so you're gonna wanna generally have the middle of the muscle belly, and you wanna kind of meet the tissue and then do some folding. That's just
I
how
just
you.
feel like that makes me taller. I know what taller
I've
is.
noticed it, you've grown, right?
I know. I'm gonna be 7 feet tall by the end of this.
The bigger bands.
All right, get down, get down.
You can go further down now. I mean, just take a look.
Push your buttons more.
Is that exerting or is that?
That's comfortable for me. I think I recommend that for me to remember. Good form.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is advanced. You can like use your knee there too.
I'm
Just
trying
do
to,
that.
I know,
But that is
I get
advanced.
in here and sometimes on the inside, so I'm gonna try
Or
to
elbow
put this
and
hand
stuff,
under
different
on the
hands.
first round and the other one, the other hand for the other side. Let's see how.
What makes that advanced? Is it just like the,
It's what makes it advanced is that the amount of effort that you give has a super increased proportional response to like the sensational intensity.
Yeah.
So unless you're like really mindful, you're gonna hurt somebody.
see that
Words.
words, explanations?
Was that clear?
Yeah. Yeah. I just appreciate knowing what makes something an advanced thing, because it's really nice to know that.
Well, I mean, that's just my definition, but that's, I mean,
The more
The
advanced
word-
you
I'm not cool enough to know that, yeah, I gotta level up.
I don't
And
think
it has
it really,
nothing to do with that.
I don't think it really works like that.
Yeah.
Well, kind of, because if you have a level up, you don't necessarily understand it completely.
Yeah, and that's why I really emphasize like the listening skills, because like in my ideal world, like with the listening, like there's no way to hurt somebody because there's that.
So we said,
You get hurt, don't do it.
Yeah.
You feel this? Do you feel this?
Yeah.
They're back and forth, Jocelyn.
that.
No, look at the rest of
Wait a
this.
second.
Yeah, pen and stretch is pretty
It
cool.
almost get passed around by ever since I was like an anatomy lesson. You're just like, find this guy's spots.
I know anatomy good.
Keep the pressure up there. Yeah.
You have a good way you enjoy learning the muscles.
Oh, yeah. What I've enjoyed most in learning muscles is understanding how they relate with one another along what's called a kinetic chain. Like if you open a door, like certain muscles are recruited to do that action, and learning how those different muscles are related, and then where the dysfunction generally comes from. That's why I'm a nerd. And that does get into things like neuroscience and like kind of nerve, like it's not just muscles, it's also fascial tissue and nervous system that are part of that process. But yeah, generally speaking, functionally is what I'm motivated by.
It's all right.
Are there online resources for that?
Oh, I mean, yeah. First, what I do note is that a lot of online so what you're gonna find when you get into more advanced like anatomical knowledge is that
What's that?
That was the first
bodies
time
are
I've
actually
seen
different.
that.
They're like
I think
specific
so,
anatomy is
yeah.
not going to be the
It's
same
like,
across
what
all
are you
bodies.
doing?
But like a textbook is like it has to like this is a thing, but like that thing has anatomical variation. And that just exists. So I find it wise to engage in critical thought as opposed to just believe in
Fair number of,
all
like,
the resources
volunteers
like the
and
gospel
friends.
or whatever. Yeah, one of my background projects that I want to get good at is like being able to
You know what?
paint
That's
a body from like bone to skin and all the structures in between, just to like, you just do something cool. It's just like, I know it that good.
Yeah, I often think like should be more crossover between art and athletics. You know, like drawing the body and using the body.
Just gotta do it.
yeah, why not?
It does exist.
I put myself in that.
It's just
Like
French.
yeah, I think for because I'm approaching it from the athletic side. Because that's it. Draw my body, draw the bones, draw the muscles, draw the stuff like that.
Well, I mean, it's pretty standard practice in physical therapy offices. Like they'll have those like sensors for joints, and then they'll like render your body as it moves through 3D space. For optimization of like high level aesthetics. That also comes to mind as a functional. That's not really art. That's more like 3D rendering.
Yeah.
That was my request. What's your body?
Well, yeah, if we can get something that works the arm. If there's something that has traction through the lower back somehow, that would be.
Yeah. Okay, I'll lay on your back.
Okay.
Art princess.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And proportions are in the matter, but generally speaking, thigh be as close to the knees as possible. And then you basically like around to have I press down to create a weight off of the low back, lift up, and then do a jostle with weight or traction kind of that way. Is that kind of ish what you're wanting?
Yeah. Yeah. At some point I was imagining something pulling the arm and also traction to the lower back.
I mean, if you want to like make my dream come to fruition, there you can like grab an arm while we do this and do a 2 points kind of fascial thing.
So it's like above head.
Okay, let's do some practice work. So the cross-body stretch I like to do, be mindful of the arm should be that way, just to kind of hold the hip, and then hold the pec, and then push down at the same time. And that might be an intense. And then Josh, your breath is kind of the gatekeeper for intensity. Yeah, you feel like an inhale, that really increase the stretch.
Yeah. Is it real tender?
Yeah.
You know.
How does that feel?
Pretty
There's no real way to
Around
get
that.
around it. So if you want, limit the intensity by just doing a 3-count breath. And really focusing on increasing, or focusing on the inhale, feel the stretch and maximizing that.
Yeah. I feel it in my pinky toes.
Oh.
Yeah, that's good.
You want to try the other side? Sure. So the things to be mindful are, so you have your hands being on that side there. And for the shoulder, you just also just be mindful of this area again, is very accident prone, and you want to be mindful of everything.
My body about here.
Yeah. And then be back. Is that good?
So good. Yeah.
And same with you, your breath, you under.
Right. Okay, yeah.
More pressure on the shoulder.
That's you're awesome. Help me out. Maybe I have some of those. Yeah, the good one.
Oh, yes.
Maybe a little more.
I should too.
Yeah, we go for a minute. How's y'all's constitution doing? Are you getting tired?
There's a few amendments that we can remove, but I'm not gonna get into that. My hands definitely are a little like, they're weird.
Understood. You wanna maybe close some kind of elbow friendly stuff?
I had
Arm works in there.
crumpy elbow too,
Oh,
so
those are for
we're using,
inserting with the elbow.
that'd be fine. But I don't know if you have something for, like, just a very tired elbow. This whole thing.
Yeah, it's more the inside or the outside.
Is like maybe almost under my wrist.
Inside more.
Yeah.
Like, that's like probably more your flexors. the
Yeah.
ones that do this.
Yeah, it is. It's all,
I can run you through the sequence I just showed.
Yes,
you.
please.
Sure.
let's do it.
Yeah, so when you're ready, either of you.
Wanna do the receiver?
Okay. There you go.
I'm ready.
Let's do some squeeze.
Random feathers on
I'm
me.
gonna take my wrist over there.
That might be my fault.
Oh, it's random question. Do you have a rooster?
I have, there's a female that decided to become a rooster this summer. And
Does she have a,
no, nothing up there yet, but totally redid her colors and roosters.
So on your
sorry.
Oh my goodness.
so yeah, so this will be kind of like a bicep and forearm and shoulder.
Yeah.
So I like to start with a bent elbow. And this hand is just keeping the arm at 90 degrees. So you're going to kind of grab the middle of the bicep and kind of knees down, and then kind of do an oblique push through, and just kind of do pulse more. Like you're not really like moving your hands over it. You're kind of grabbing the tissue. And you kind of like rotate the arm because like I almost feel like I was going to roll over the bicep. It doesn't usually feel that great. So you can kind of like rotate the arm to modify that.
Kind of going with it because I just learned that like as you move your wrist
And your hands do pulses with
bones
that.
cross.
And after you're satisfied, or she's satisfied, and kind of move comes in and kind of rest.
Oh, well, no, that's what, just what they do, and I'm now feeling it.
Right.
So like, what will help with that is like just having static pressure, like not out so much doing like that, but just holding static pressure down. And then you kind of move to the forearm, doing similar kind of squeezes, and then just doing some
Is that right?
If you want to get super advanced, you can kind of like do the same thing, like squeeze, but then kind of, yeah, it's like that direction. Maybe not. Yeah, just do some of that.
Basic.
Yeah. And it feels like your wrist might be not wanting that.
Yeah, maybe not.
What's my wrist now?
Much of attention.
Yeah.
Cool. Just ping me when you want more.
Feeling that right good.
Yeah, that's kind of supportive.
And like this,
I heard that.
or,
Yeah, it's like the road grip or whatever.
oh, yeah, there it is.
Yep.
Yeah. I'll leave my muscle in.
Yeah.
That looks good.
There we go.
It's actually slow, but it's not very good.
All of a sudden, I would say in terms of feeling quite a bit of tension in my wrists and thumbs. Shoulders.
And if you want to, you can like let go of that grip and then pull from here to like if the wrist is like too intense, you better.
Yeah.
I think this is probably good for your tanking situation too.
What's that?
How's your form?
Let's start out a little more.
How's your form?
It's on the shoulder.
Slouch.
I
thought you said
Thanks
it's
for asking.
forearm.
I heard forearm at first too. I was like, yeah, it's cool.
Keep there for a minute, you can 10 or 12 or 3% more or less, whatever you like.
I would definitely err on the side of less with the shoulder pull. You know, if somebody does have like a history of dislocations, like this is probably a no-go.
Yeah.
Or labrum issues or anything like that.
More towards the top there. Yeah, sorry, this is tight.
And then the other side.
And it's pretty cute, right? I was looking for like this little tight trip and then the cap will be kind of vertical.
There you go. Mission.
Right?
So many
Is that good pressure?
Yeah, like 4% more.
Right.
You can try rotating the arm as well. Presuming it feels good.
Like that?
Less pressure.
That's good.
Do you want to try coming onto your knees, Steve? And see if that makes it easier on your bottom calves? If not, what's hard, what's easy? Is it harder on your knees or?
No, that's not good.
Yes. Better yes. This
Getting
part
down
is
is easy.
perfect. Why did I think about the future?
Yeah, so if I was in your position, I'd probably come from more like this angle, because you're going to be pulling towards you to affect the forearm.
This one?
Yeah, with the opposite hand supporting and your right doing the exerting.
So like this?
Yeah, the one with the small arm.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, and then it does require core strength in this position. And not a good way to get through it.
Using my fingers on the other one was a little hard.
Yeah, I mean, it will generally just feel more pokey, and it's also like more exertion.
I don't feel the bones moving so much.
Josh.
But everybody at ours have it say, nice firm.
I really need to do something. Would you like these opposite version of what you're supposed to do with that paint? It's all about.
Yeah, this is designed to get you really not way near my hand.
You have to
It'll
like
stop you.
find them on-
Yeah.
And then,
Oh yeah, sorry.
There's a technique in that.
yeah.
Found interesting.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's good. Like 100% of trade, like,
Oh.
British buyers, check that out.
It's right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. This is like takes up
Trust the cravings.
or with a nice chair.
Oh. I see.
Do I turn with the rest?
Like reach tech or.
Depends what you're.
Kickstarter.
It depends what you feel. Like,
the last
My direct answer to you is that you kind of gotta feel the grain
Yeah, right,
of the
it's your
tissue,
reputation.
and then feel what that rotation does to that grain. And like generally speaking, you're trying to break stuff up. And
Well, because like I just learned that like
And like,
these bones,
it's really
you
obvious.
can flip your wrist across.
People,
Yeah.
it's
And I feel
always
it.
a loop for like.
I just wouldn't-
And someone will
Go
fall
ahead.
and take it.
Right, it's
Or immediately take
You want
it.
to do a nice strong grip on this.
It's like, whoever is in the first
gently rotate my hand. So I'll position like it. Just
Well, you want this to rotate with your hand or say it all?
I have to say, well, shadow,
It's kind of fun.
yeah.
Do you need more on the same?
Yeah.
I think we're good.
Alright, repeat it for us.
So let's go ahead and back in.
Oh, yeah. We're gonna learn to think. Let's go.
And receive. Yeah. Jerry, I would say that I do avoid like severe compression with that crossover.
Yeah.
No, I know strong grips, because that stresses the ligaments in the wrist.
Hey, but if you have me like, resting your leg, well, I think it was not.
Well, but, like if it's within their sensational tolerance, like that's also information. It's weird. Again, there's like perception and there's anatomy, and those don't always correlate. That's why I urge people to like exert slowly, so there's that feedback time. Like ligaments, for example, like they respond a lot slower than like muscle tissue does.
That's actually really
That's just how the nerves work.
This.
Yeah. Yeah. Try to put this on the shoulder, one on the wrist. There is a way to, two fingers try to grab it on the more, yes. Squeeze both arms. Yeah.
Do you feel anything in your lower back?
No, slight, not much, I think maybe the ankles like up that way, I might feel it more lower back.
Wouldn't be a great use for that. And low back stuff is generally your ankle/quads. Yeah.
Is it pressure was?
Yeah, I'm starting to like lose it in my hand a little bit, yeah. I was gonna rotate partner movements at all today.
Oh, well, yeah, we can do that. Forgot about that.
No, I might be heading out soon.
Well, that'll make it easy.
Use that.
Yeah, probably just, we'll show you all a seated shoulder routine and then probably call it good. I remember when I first started giving Thai massage, like it took my joints a while to acclimate.
Bet.
As a provider.
Yeah. Like sitting on my ankles, for example,
Yeah.
for some period of time
It's like, oh,
while exerting.
Yeah, I think so. I took this position, it looks like a person.
Lily.
I'd be impressed.
I think it's a person. Yeah, there's people on the ceiling, we're not just, we read the thing, we're not high.
Looks like a seahorse
A seal?
to me. Seahorse.
The pink one?
Oh, the pink one? Yeah, no, human. Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, this thing was person.
Looks like you got like ninja stars up there.
I don't know. But the yellow, you think seahorse?
That's what my eyes tell
I
me.
see it shaking.
Yep. No, you're right. You're right. Because the belly is facing, or it's stuck in this.
In their instruction,
Yeah,
not
we
use
do.
the same.
This
training, so
A lot of training.
it's not training. I'll let the people know.
Or it's training very, very slowly.
Mm-hmm. I'll let them know.
Relax.
Yeah, they rent this space out for like hip camp type stuff, so you know, maybe it's a use thing. Thanks for coming. Yeah.
Jay.
Yeah. Nice to meet
So it's
you.
good to see you, Gary.
Good to meet you, bye.
Yeah, see a pretty cute puppet show last time.
When I was hosting Acro Yoga here next week.
Oh. What was that going today?
Next Sunday. Fool.
Oh, he was my ex-husband for a long time.
Sweet.
Oh, Noah?
No, he's.
The dragon?
Another.
Both, actually. Both of them, both behind me.
Yeah, do you
You don't eat squares out of the center of
Yeah.
pumpkin pies, do you?
happy to support this?
Squares?
Okay, that wasn't, never.
I never have.
I was at a party, there was a guy who was baby like you, but I like didn't actually talk to him, who came in to the Costco
This
pie that was like this big,
guidance on
cut a
scheduled
big
for the first
square out in the
Sunday
middle of
of
it.
I would do it just for the chaos.
That's what he was doing.
I really care about.
No, have a good day.
About like
I do a nice triangle cut.
and with the knowledge that you know it's not like a couples massage class, it's like right, which is perception's weird. That's why word of mouth will be like invaluable.
Right. And I think, you know, it's like one of my concerns, kind of like, I was like, I shouldn't go, I don't know.
One fingers while you're putting those
We're
ten.
showing that more explicit.
Right.
But it's everybody. I mean, it is explicit. It is in the content.
Okay, okay, yeah. It was my split moment assumption, I think, without even reading anything. I was like, oh, a time massage class, I'm supposed to bring a partner.
I might change the title to accommodate that because it is a consistent issue. Because just people do. It's weird for perception.
Yeah.
Especially with fashion and massage.
I think you do an excellent job. You do far better than 99% of the.
I just try.
That's why you're asking
So let's maybe wrap up a little bit and then move on to the. Yeah, so let's move into a triad. We can even move on to the bigger thing.
Yep.
So I didn't really go over like the role of the observer as in relation to the giver and receiver roles, but basically the observer is just like the third person, just observing what's happening. And the reason I like that role is that like when you're giving and or receiving, you're either giving and or receiving, not necessarily like taking in what's happening. So in my opinion, it is an actually valuable position to be in. So anybody want to elect to be the observer to begin with? Cool. And which of you would like to receive first with the demo, the shoulder demo that I'm doing? Cool. So seat in the center. You'll be in the seated position this time around. So for this one, yeah, of course. Like I haven't done over flow at all, but like eventually the stuff can flow. So I'll do that on your back for a second. I'll demo potential flow. So like you will have done like all of your whatever that you've done, and then I'll ask you to grab my hands and I'll help you up. And hey, you're in a seated position. Amazing.
Nice.
Yeah. And then just a really simple, like it can be kind of hard on the wrists, but you kind of want to bring your feet kind of splayed out across the back of the person. And bring your knees gently into the back. And the intention here is to make sure that their spine doesn't collapse. Because it will if you don't do that. And you kind of want to, so like my hands are like in this position. So like I'm going to pull here as well. Very good. I just don't want to pull your hair, so I'm not going to. And with that kind of knee support, you kind of, so my weight is kind of stacked over the receiver, and it's kind of like, how's that pressure?
was further down on the side when when you were in there.
Would you like more or less?
For now, more, but there was a,
At the top of that threshold,
Yeah.
did you want more or less?
oh, at the top, that was it.
That was
That's-
still
that's-
below that point. Yeah, so you're just gonna, at the sensational threshold, you just kind of like oscillate. So kind of like doing like this motion, and all my weight is kind of in the palm of my hand. After you've done that for a little bit, you can kind of move and kind of rest the back with your thigh. This is where the elbow will come in. You want to make sure you're not kind of grab the hair. So the thing with this is like the closer to the elbow you exert, like the more mechanical advantage you're going to have with exerting force. So you kind of want to like feel where it's comfortable. I like to rotate my pinkies to kind of like feel a little bit, like where my bone is as it touches the muscle. And gently rotating. How's that doing? Good. And then I like to do the pinky glide. Yeah, is that too intense? Yeah, so I kind of like meet, pinky glide, and then relax. And I'll move a little bit. Meet, pinky glide, relax. I'll just kind of repeat that until I feel it's complete. Then I'll do the other side, and we'll go from there. You want to stay or switch roles?
Well, I'm uneven.
So, Josh, you want to step into the other side? Just start from the top. So splay your feet out, so they're articulating with, and you might need to move the pillow too. And then knees articulate with the back. Good.
Position.
Now we bring the knees closer to like the spine, because the attention is still against the spine. Was that a knee?
Start slow. Start on the side a little more. Getting close to the threshold.
Throw out percentages.
Say that again.
Feel free to throw out percentages.
Throwing them out, I want 100.
Oh, that one. Okay, cool.
I'm 400%.
Of what?
Relative to what?
What are you observing, Steve?
I'm paying attention to hand placement. Just making sure that where the balls of the hand are going is where a lot of the weight's going to be.
Yeah, curious about the receiver. Comments on the placement.
When you go really deep, I can tell, like, maybe I should have this up more, because the skin on skin sometimes it stretches a little more than is comfortable.
Just the skin.
Yeah, just the skin, not like, the muscles feel great, but then the skin's a little like,
Between the two hands.
Yeah, if you don't ever feel like a burning sensation, like skin on skin wise, like that's too much stretch. That's the fascial tissue being stretched past its the point that it wants to be stretched.
Transition
This is kind of the broad surface of the inner thigh, supports the spine.
to pulls the hair.
sorry, I'm very hairy.
I might try both elbows and see which one feels more comfortable for you, and for the just kind of the angle of the muscle tissue and such.
Sorry, here.
You're like, at least 80%.
when you receive this, you'll be able to like empathize with, you know, what feels good and what feels not as good. Yeah, generally speaking, there's that bone there, like that's not gonna feel good. That's what I want. I don't, like, can you imagine what your body would be like if it didn't have bones?
So relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
My pool of working.
Mm-hmm.
Location would be interesting.
Yeah. Not a soccer superstar, I wasn't.
We watch Star Trek, you know. Oh, you're good.
You do. One more pass on the other side.
Another one of my mantras in my massage practice is like, if I have a question in my mind, I just ask. I'd much rather be annoying than not. And that's just a thing.
I've always found it's really, really calming for anybody who's like getting used to doing a massage to have them like get instruction, like please let me know if any of this is like too much pressure, too little pressure.
Yeah, or like, you know, Margaret shared initially, like, it's pretty, like, it's common for people to like not express, even when it is painful. So in my opinion, it's up to the giver, like it's their responsibility to make sure that the receiver is comfortable. That being said, like, just asking, is this okay 1,500 times is probably not gonna do that. And that's why I try to use things like percentages or like specific actionable items.
Communicate where you're at.
Yeah, it's like good means different things.
Oh, where it was fine, yeah. Did it change the pressure a little bit when you put it the other place, but not in a particularly interesting way, I guess.
How was that exertion wise for you, Josh? It's pretty easy. Yeah, so I noticed every time like you asked me about something, I noticed that.
Get your way. You know, I'll keep doing the thing. That's my job. Keep you all sponsored. You can do it more. I mean, you can be like more efficient in your form. It just means you can exert less energy. Keep on massage.
Thanks.
Want to step into the observer role?
Sure.
Be the receiver.
Yeah.
Be the receiver.
See that synergy flowing?
Alright, sitting
So
next to you.
comfortably as you can.
Do you want to practice that from laying down, helping out thing? Just to, you know, broach things like flow?
Yeah. Got that on that stuff.
Nice as broad as comfortable. Josh, how was that thumb grip in the front for you?
It's a little intense. Yeah, or just with the big muscles. Shoulders.
How's that on your wrists, Steve?
Solid. Right, you have structure against your neck.
Yeah, knees may slightly inside the scapula is great. It works, but there's.
Get my knees in your scapula.
Yeah, then we get like level bones.
Yeah.
Double bone on bone action.
Nice.
Awesome.
Good switch way.
That's right. Oh. I forgot what company I was in.
Like a slow increase.
A friend asked me for dad jokes the other day. I was so touched. Any observances, Margarita?
I don't know how long I would survive in this one.
I would say,
If I have?
Yeah.
What do you see?
sort of
Just
pressure
that-
on one side.
That curve on my back, and it was a big stretch at the top of my back, when it was hard for me. Doesn't want to do it for too long.
So I recommend spending less time in this position and more in the kneeling
Well, also,
position.
I don't know if I can support it.
You could.
Maybe like support on the inside of my knees.
Try it.
Yeah.
Yeah, notice the
Might be tall enough, but I wouldn't have to.
more weight like
You
that.
can, yeah. It's working your way in.
That's fine.
And then he's having a pillow too, just like that.
Yep. You can modify that. You mean one of those? Just roll with it. That's kind of funny. I like that. Sat down.
Make sure you're taking care of yourself.
If you do notice your wrists are starting to bend, you can always move to the elbow exertion.
Yeah, the pressure's on one side. Slowly.
Loosen the other.
Yeah.
Well, let's try that.
All right. A posse flyer, as they say.
That's
It's a very helpful receiver.
Yeah, like the more the receiver like expresses what they want, the more it can be given. So like, I encourage receivers to be posse.
Partly when there's been sometimes where I feel like your arms are almost vibrating, I'm like, make sure that you're feeling safe and solid.
No, I'm just set to vibrate. I just have a trouble with that once throughout my body all the time. Always got my phones in me.
Yeah, it's good. Visionless, like that's your question there. Just grip the shoulder and just slowly, just like move the whole shoulder joint. Yeah.
That's the dream.
The dream.
There we go. Dream.
There's always so much more to know. I'm not going to show it today, but there's like an easy like side when the receiver's in the sideline position, where they get a shoulder mobilization. I recommend having both organs.
You need more of it.
That was more sharp. The other way, it's more broad. Broad is like a nice place to start. awesome. Yeah.
That's better. That means.
Any other observances?
Curious how this would feel as we go through. It's such a strange spot to be using. I would think I would focus more here. And he's very using this.
What do you think that? Or what do you
I
think?
don't want to use that for anything, I guess. So it doesn't feel like it would be strong. I don't
See,
but-
dexterity in my mind is the answer.
Yeah. It's just not something I really think about. This, yeah, I don't have power in all of this area.
Slightly down.
Yeah, like it surprised me how quickly I could like get extremely dexterous with my feet.
Yeah.
Like you might be surprised, like when you just try it,
Yeah.
how articulate you could be. Yeah.
Well, our part's strong. I just feel like that part's not strong. But it probably is coming
It-
from here, so it can be. It just feels like
The closer to the elbows,
it's
it
here.
can be stronger. And further away, like the more like strength you have to exert, then yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that grabs like the upper trapezius and such really good. Can I have you try something different, Steve?
Sure.
Yeah, so like press in, and then wide, and then release. And see like get feedback from Josh as to that difference in feeling. So more press in first, establish that, and then with that, with the exerted pressure, then do the wide. And then repeat. So how's that feel different to you, Josh?
I mean, I like it. I would say it's almost like the slower the better for me because it gives my muscles a chance to like, okay, this is what's going on. Here it is. Now I can relax. Now it's released. It's almost when there's constant movement. It's kind of like, wait, what's going on? What's going on?
How fast is your mind moving, Steve?
Never keep up. Back to the clock.
Power of the world.
Solve all the problems and find every score.
Squirrel.
That's right.
They can.
I know, but that's why we have forests.
Yep. True facts.
That's a YouTube channel, right?
True facts is, yeah. It's hilarious. I would recommend it. Zay Frank.
Oh, True Facts is that the like.
Ridiculous stuff.
They're so funny.
This is really
Come
wild.
on.
See, Frank started a new thing called
Yeah, that's
True
really
Facts are good. Yeah.
It's still about animals.
But creepier?
No, he's just like, hey, this is your day. And he's talking about the
More
animals
caricature.
in a very silly way.
So you started a new one.
This looks
He's a
good.
pro. He's a pro.
Oh, okay.
Yay.
Feel free to call out observances if you
Okay.
How was that to give and then receive?
That's good. I mean, I was slightly surprised at how active I was as a receiver, but I'm appreciating that. I think active receiver is a good thing.
I agree.
At the beginning of a relationship.
You totally agree. I kind of enforce that in my practice.
Yeah.
I mean, relaxation and trust and rapport like comes, but like not the first time.
Yeah.
I have fallen off.
I think it does make for a better experience.
Yeah. Actually, Calvary. So everybody notice that the palms are kind of further out than I would like to the side. I would like them closer to my neck.
You want your body work?
I need it all anyways. My shoulders carry as much pain as my neck does. Do you have anything concerning people who know what they're doing when they massage my neck? I might put you through this once. You're like, when did you do this?
I try to be very careful with my verbiage. I do.
I think so.
Yeah, I was thinking about balance of muscle tissue. There's always a push and a pull across the bone. That's what I'm often feeling for. What do you see?
Everybody's hands are like feeling what they're doing. The pressure. How your back support is.
Yeah, we're relaxing a bit. What do you feel?
Where all the muscles are no longer sliding there, there's a constricted lump that must go whack, 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 whack under my hand. There.
How does it feel, Steve? Like, what's the quality of sensation?
It's not. It's gonna tie. Feel it running towards like center of my back. That one right there when it gets worked on. That like.
It's workout.
Yeah.
Are you all surprised with how much like effort it takes to exert force?
Not really.
That's good. Whenever I do massage, I'm kind of like working at it. You could bear in mind making the practice of making my load a little bit lighter while I'm doing it.
I definitely always try to have a very high table though, because I know this groove gets tight. I'm working on something. So this is a very different
Yeah.
situation. Okay, this was
bajillions of iterations of all of these poses. I could teach you all, but
Gotta start somewhere.
the basics. And like I do invite you to like practice sometime this like coming week,
Yeah.
so it doesn't all just like fade immediately, as is typical.
I figured it'd also be easier.
I want to see what tech retains even. Yeah, I've tried to like offer the things that are the easiest and simplest and least exerting to do.
I sort of appreciate that as part of time massage, but it's like that it's a little bit of a full body workout for the provider. You know?
Yes,
As opposed to just hands and wrists or whatever.
that's why I started doing it. My little fingies get tired.
Yeah. There's some good interaction going on there.
Rubber bands. Too high the key. Too sharp.
I like to work on like the open up the pecs and the biceps and such. And I notice like usually like the neck is tight, but it's like for a reason. It's kind of like I'll do an order of operations thing where like I'll work on what I consider the source of the stuff to be, so that that stretch is not coming from that source anymore, and then like the tissue is more likely to actually unwind. Yeah, it's more advanced stuff, but that's how the body seems to work.
So that sort of loosening some of the front muscles so that they're not pulling forward as much.
Generally speaking, like the first and second rib are usually pretty compressed on pretty much everybody, and that's from a whole complex of muscles. And like, you know, what I presume is Steve's levator scapulae and upper trapezius, they're just, it's like a one-sided game of tug-of-war, or like the pec is doing that, and like there's just,
The pec again is like this.
oh, it's this, it's like, it's a very one-sided game of tug-of-war, to where the body just does the thing. And then a stress response from that one-sided game of tug-of-war just does its thing. And people will feel like, you know, neck pain or a headache, but like it's actually coming from there, right? Generally, like the neck. But it really is dependent on somebody's level of awareness and their understanding, like somatically, of like, no, actually it's here. They just gotta map it out in their level of understanding. That's what I offer at least.
Provider taking care of their body.
Trying, man. My knees are tender.
Put a pillow underneath them.
I don't think that would help my back because then I'm bending down more. So it's kind of a.
What the hell did you?
Well, I can.
Bolstering your bottoms.
Ooh, what?
Isn't that funny?
What are you who was that?
That was my sledding injury from 2012.
Sledding injury.
I mean, my really cool motorcycle accident.
2012.
I respect sledding.
No, I think I was sledding more. Yeah, someone with a motorcycle license, I'm like, no, sledding accident.
No, this wasn't glamorous. I went down part of the hill. They said no.
Oh.
Backwards.
Were you backwards on purpose or did you just slip around?
Oh, I just went backwards head first. I think I asked what's the worst that could happen. I found a disc off post in the back of my head.
Oh, yeah.
That'll do it.
You know, this little.
Lost 3 inches of height. A lot of
Brain power? I mean, was it concussive or?
I don't think it was because I remember being coherent for it all. Like, where's my defense mechanism and the ambulance, right?
Pretty standard.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, there's a book that I think George should read called "The Body Keeps the Score." It's just good because the body does. That's part of why I like to do massage and offer this kind of thing to unwind that stuff.
You can take it. It's the only way anything's gonna
Yep. Generally, it works best.
The tempo of speed.
Wrap it up in the next few minutes and come back to the circle. Each of you did receive this last little bit, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Not brain farting. I just wanted to double check. It's brain farts. Winter is coming. I just noticed that I get more lethargic and such during the winter, which I think, yeah, that's a component.
Should I put your head?
What? Oh, yeah, come ahead.
I bring the thumbs onto the jaw, not the jugular.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for dessert. Let's decomp. Yeah, and pee breaker, you know. Take care of yourself. Yeah, so let's do word salad. What'd you all learn today?
Bunch of new techniques and motions for being able to identify where stressors are on a person's body and be able to work out with them instead of just handing down a massage.
Awesome. Any nuggets from y'all?
I'm really appreciating that sometimes in class settings, there's technique and someone's well-being involved. I get nervous or something like that, and I thought that I felt, at least from my own experience, I stayed calm, grounded, pretty chill today. So I appreciated partly the environment that you created, and also my ability to stay calm and chill throughout give and receive situation.
Also awesome. Did you feel like I was pretty present whenever? Yeah. Or do you feel like I was pretty present?
Yeah. And maybe there was a minute at the beginning when we were doing different things and there was a lot of information going on.
Very impressed with your ability to ping back and forth.
But yeah. Yep.
Not that you need to share it, but if there's anything.
Just I think words can be tricky for me always, and especially in receiver mode. But it was really good practice for me, and check-ins are always awesome. So that was good. listening to my own body is not something I always do very well. So I was trying to be very aware of like posture and how to keep some parts that aren't always happy a little happier, which proud of me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I also feel very calm for it being like a garage. I'm like very chill, and yeah, it was very nice,
Good.
but not nice like in oh yeah he's nice, you know, like nice.
It's pleasant.
Yes, almost blissful at points.
Yeah, makes me happy to hear. What do y'all think you're going to remember next week from this experience?
If I don't practice, not as much as I would like. So I'll probably be making an effort to at least help someone out with any of their things or ask for an opportunity to practice what I learned today a few times over this week.
Rock.
And say maybe even some like diagrams or a note or two about each of the like types of moves we learned today.
Well, I'll be, with your y'all's consent, I'll be posting this video on the internet. You can reference it anytime you want to.
Great.
And I also have a 2-person Thai massage class that again it's there for y'all to utilize.
That's already up.
Oh yeah, for a long time.
I have a Thai massage book. I was thinking I could go in there and like put little tabs on things so I can kind of just like help recall. I know my memory's a hot mess, so it's full of so many other things that it is very likely the week will wipe it clean.
Yeah.
So
That's why I want to challenge y'all to.
having like book and notes and things that I can look at help me.
Yeah, and that is consistent feedback that I've gotten from previous classes is some kind of handout or whatnot. It's different things work for different people.
Yeah.
And again, thank y'all for letting me videotape the thing. And that is something you can reference.
Yeah.
I think I will remember the leg
The rowboat
rowboat thing.
is so simple and just awesome. Like that's what I try to teach y'all is like simply awesome things.
Yeah, it's kind of new for me and pretty cool.
Good. Well, I hope you practice it sometime this week. Yeah, and just a little PR. Like I'll be hosting this every month on the first Sunday, 2 to 5. You're welcome to come back. You're welcome to forward the agreements to your friends. I think I'm going to shift the name to Intro to Community Touch and Thai Massage. Because my intention is for this to be more of a community practice kind of thing. And there's options for people that don't want to engage in community touch and Thai. So yeah, those things.
Again, I want to say thank you, Gabriel. For just again, in my own experience, this takes a lot of thought and time to put this stuff together and a certain amount of vulnerability.
Oh, this is 4 years
Okay.
of consistent iteration.
Okay. So yeah, just appreciation for bringing this to existence.
You're welcome.
Likewise. I very much appreciate it.
I'm committed. Cool. Yeah, is there anything y'all want to share before we wrap up?
Thanks everybody for being here.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure. Thanks.
Yeah. Thank y'all for being open to just learning and working with, I presume y'all haven't met before.
Nope.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty big deal in our day, or in our overall culture. Yeah, and I really am trying to nurture this. So thank you for participating. I really appreciate it. Yeah.
Cheers. Thanks.
And we're done.